This is Kabir, the analyst, and today I'll be talking about Bobby Wagner being released by the Rams and should the Eagles entertain it? Should we try to sign him? This is Kabir, the analyst. Let's get into it, man. Bobby Wagner, he's still that guy. He's still that guy. You know, he walked away from a 5-year contract. I believe it had like 20 million guaranteed, 5 years, 50 million, something in that matter. Like, you know what, Rams, just let me go. They both agreed. Rams actually end up saving money against the cap. And Rams lost a good one. The baddest the Rams season was, Bobby Wagner was a key. 140 tackles, 6 sacks, 10 QB hits, 10 tackles for loss. I believe he had about 2 interceptions. It's right there on my screen, so small I can't see it. So something in that matter. Like, he's still impactful. And I think I said this, not straight all pro. So he's still impactful. PFF got him rated as at least, I believe, like a top 10 linebacker. So he's not old and washed and they just let him go. Nah, I think what Bobby Wagner and this, if the Eagles try to go after him, they had to try to sell him on winning. Because as much as I love Nakobe Dean, I even made a video about Christian Ellis. Look at the roster right now. Those are our 2 linebackers right now. 2 rookies. Nakobe Dean, well, he'll be a 1-year pro, and Christian Ellis will be a 1-year pro. They'll be 2 years in the league. But, man, I just don't trust the defense going or just neglecting the linebackers like that. Now, if you could bring in the Bobby Wagner and the Kobe Dean, those 2 smart players, then plus you bring in the experience and the skill with Bobby Wagner, I believe you got something. There. But us trying to go through the draft and get linebackers, I don't think we should do that. Especially, this is not like a rebuilding year coming up. A lot of us Eagles fans, and I'm sure those players in the locker room, truly believe we can run it back. We can get back to the playoffs and make another playoff run and get into that Super Bowl. And you bring in a guy like that, who won the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, with the Seahawks. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Bobby Wagner was on that Seahawks team that won the Super Bowl. The experience and the Kobe Dean can learn a lot from a Bobby Wagner. Now, this if everything falls. So, say if we can't get T.J. Edwards, he goes somewhere and get a big contract. And Kazir White, he goes somewhere and get a decent contract. And we just not willing to pay it. You got to start looking at the market. And he's a big fish. And I trust Howie Roseman can catch any fish in the sea. And if both guys happen to walk and Bobby Wagner is still out there, got to get him. He'll be a nightmare in the NFC conference, period. He'll be a nightmare in the NFC East. No matter who our defensive coordinator is, will love Bobby Wagner on the Eagles. I believe we still have some nice corners, especially if we could re-sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And people still look at our defense and say, like, the linebackers were somewhat a liability, but you semi-clean that up if you get Bobby Wagner. And he's a huge upgrade from T.J. Edwards. No knock on him. And he's a huge upgrade from Kazir White. But I think you need a veteran guy playing beside Nakobe Dean. Because I'm assuming, I'm almost guaranteeing Nakobe Dean is just going to go into the year starting. Don't draft a guy in the 3rd round and let him redshirt for 2, 3, 4 years. You don't just let him redshirt, especially with that intelligence and that skill set. So, yeah, man, we should bring him in, entertain it. Now, if he want to get paid, fortunately, we probably can't do it. And I also read the Bleacher Report. They got 3 teams listed. They got the Cowboys first, Eagles second, and going back to Seattle third. Well, it all depends on what Bobby Wagner wants. Do he want the money or do he want to win? That's the big question. He had the money with the Rams, but they were losing. He stepped away. So I'm assuming he wanted to win. And he probably want to be compensated for that too. But Also, I'm telling you, I'm gonna wrap this up. It seemed like he liked the West Coast. I gotta say that. Seattle, West Coast, Rams, West Coast. Do he want to come all the way to the East Coast? I don't know. Location matters. You got a family. They want to move all the way over here. I don't know. But how we should not see what he want. See what he want. He seen what our roster did, man. But what do you think? How do you feel about Bobby Wagner, man? I think he should be an Eagle. I think he should be an Eagle. But this is Al Kabir, the analyst.